Yeah, I've never really told this story, but I did a great deal of pure Bolivian cocaine with Hunter Thompson.
Wow.
That is an experience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a theater company with John Cusack. We started studying with my parents when we were 8 years old at the PIVEN Theater, and we did about 9 movies together and had a theater company and blah, blah, blah. And we had to get the rights to Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, so we went to Woody Creek to visit Hunter, and the first thing he did was make us steal a car. And he's exactly the way you think he would be. He's the smartest guy in the room, just an absolute savage. His daily routines that have been documented are real, and it's hard to keep up with him. And I just remember doing so much cocaine I forgot how to swallow. It was very awkward. And then when we were just peaking on everything, he said, all right, I'll give you the rights if you can read this flawlessly. And he handed us this monologue that had no punctuation. And it was this massive, massive monologue, which I love jumping into those, but I unfortunately was biting my own head off at that point. I think my eyes were bleeding, and I was barking. I was grinding. It was like a lot of grinding and wailing and gnashing of teeth. I was useless. So my buddy, who's a brilliant writer and director, Steve Pink, Steve grabbed it and just kind of launched into the, we were somewhere around Barcelona when the drugs began to take hold. I remember saying something like, and he just, and bless him, he was well versed in that world. I couldn't quite handle it.
That's pressure too, with the cocaine.
And performing for him while peaking. And for some reason, he stored all of his cocaine in a hockey puck. So anytime that hockey puck came out, I was like, oh, God, I can't do anymore. We got the rights, and then so we did the American, or the actual, the premiere of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. We did it on stage, and his fiance at the time filmed, a lot of the performances. And then I look up, and it's like, oh, shit. Benizio's playing my role, and Cusack's role was taken by Johnny Depp, and you know what I mean? And that's just the way it goes. I thought we were kind of on our way to making the movie, and it's all part of it, and those guys were brilliant. And
So you and Cusack were supposed to be in the film that eventually...
Or this was a live performance.
Yeah, we did. We performed it live on stage in Chicago. Listen, man, nothing is ever promised to any of us, ever. And, expectations, they're tricky. I had the expectation that I was going to be in Fear and Loathing.